Hey everybody, thank you very much for always stopping in at Duff's Dogs. We appreciate it. We just want to say thank you to everybody that supported us for this past year and all the way through COVID, and hope that everybody has a wonderful holiday and new year, and we'll see you next year. Do come by and see us. Again, thanks very much. I appreciate it, and happy holidays everybody from Duff's Dogs. Thank you.
Good morning. Today we got the opportunity to sit down with Duff, or Duffy, from Duff Dogs. Today we get to ask him a couple questions about his restaurant and how he got started. So that would be my first question to you. Tell a little bit about yourself and what made you start Duff Dogs.
All right. Thanks for having me. By the way, thanks for having me and doing this podcast with us today. Duff's Dogs has been here in Carmel Mountain for the last 10 years. We hit our 10-year anniversary this last September. So it's been a work in progress for a long time, but I guess the idea came up back when I was in college. I had to do a business plan, and you couldn't do a .com, you had to do a brick and mortar. And I go to New Orleans a lot, and you always see these hot dog carts on the street called Lucky Dogs in New Orleans, if you've ever been to New Orleans. And so I did that on there, and I said it'd be great writing a business plan and calling it Duff's Dogs. It came off the last name Duffy, so we said Duff's Dogs. Nice. And then about the same time, 2003, I got recalled back to active duty, so I went into Iraq and stuff. And you carry a journal, a green book, being a corpsman and stuff, and you're always writing down things. And you got guys, we're always sitting there saying what we're going to do when we get out of here, if we make it out alive, or how much money, really, like a lot of money you're really making. But anyway, what are you going to do? So just kept on writing in the book, and then talking to my brother back on the East Coast, and he's always a big supporter of me. So we're always just going back and forth. So I come home and I keep writing in the book, and then I stay home for a little while, then I get recalled again, sent back to Iraq that time, the second time. And then 3 more times after that, back and forth. Finally, on my last tour in Afghanistan, I talked to my little brother, and then I talked to my dad. I said, Dad, I'm gonna move you out here to California, and let's open up a hot dog shop. I mean, I'm gonna retire out of the military, so I need something to do to keep myself busy, and I thought it'd be cool, little change in space, or something different from what I was doing, to try to calm my nerves and try to reacclimate myself back into civilian life, and be my own boss and not work for the man anymore. So that kicked off. So when I was still here, still doing my stuff, my dad came here. It takes about a year, 6 months to a year, to open up anything here in San Diego, even longer actually. Something as small as mine is 100 square feet. So it's a lot easier permit-wise. I thought it was going to be a lot easier, but in reality it wasn't. I had to jump through a lot of hoops because there's really no place like mine here in San Diego. So the health department's just being the health department. So it took a while, and then finally I retired, and we got the place open, and my brother supported me. He does all the accounting part. I'm the face of it. So over the years, it's just we've been growing, and then we had the slogan, and it's a catchy slogan, Duff's Dogs. It's all about the wiener, because I am in the wiener business.
Yep.
And we learned from hard knocks. I mean, a lot of stuff didn't work. I mean, we first opened up, we had 5 things on the menu. Now we got 25 different combinations of hot dogs, lobster rolls, grilled cheeses. And then things work, they don't work. You try different things. I'm not a franchise, so it was a lot of taking, you've been here a bunch of times, asking people how well the food is, what you like about it, what you don't like about it. So we take a lot of inspiration from our customers about what's good and what's not.
So I got a quick question. So for the things that didn't work, or the things that went wrong that you would say in the business, what was your mindset, and how was you able to change some of those things that was going wrong in the business?
It's because, one, I've signed a lease here, so it's not like I can get up and walk away.
Okay.
So we had a 5-year lease on it, so I had 5 years to make something happen, or just eat the rent for 5 years, because it's not like I'm going to have somebody come into my space and take it over like you would like a brick and mortar. If you close your doors up, more likely somebody else is going to come in with another concept, and you already got it built out for them. So that was my little motivation, and plus I don't like to give up on anything really once I start something. So that was like the motivation behind that, and plus I had nothing else to do. I mean, it's not like I'm gonna stop this and go work at Home Depot or go work something. I couldn't do both, so I had to you had to focus all your time into the business. And basically, if something didn't work out, I always got ask friends, ask people, what would you do? I've got a lot of friends that are in the restaurant business or inside. They own businesses.
Yeah.
So it's always good to have, to go talk to somebody. Even if you don't like what they're saying, you'll be surprised if you talk to them enough, you'll take certain things from their conversations and implement them into yours, and if it works or it doesn't work. But true. I think every time you fall on your face, it just makes you a lot better when you get back up.
That's true.
And you get really, really focused on it. When it came to hot dogs, we've got some hot dogs on the menu that just didn't work. The flavor wasn't there, or it took too long to make, or too much condiments, or we created a hot dog that really didn't use any of the other hot dogs combinations, like onions, relish, or something like that when we use on the other hot dogs. So that was something you had to learn also. It's like, what can we use to create something that we already have a lot of the product here? We might have to bring in one new ingredient instead of bringing in 5 different ingredients that we don't use on nothing else. So that's a lot of spoilage, just a lot of money there that food doesn't sell, especially when we first started off. I mean, shit, we're lucky. Like today's Tuesday. I think today if we first opened up, I think the highest that we did on Tuesday was $68.
Okay. But I will say this. I feel like this place has definitely became like a big attraction to a lot of people in San Diego. And I would say, what's the most popular hot dog that you guys sell?
What the most popular hot dog we have is the Chicago style, because we're Vienna beef.
Okay.
So we literally bring everything in from Chicago.
Okay.
So that's the poppy seed bun, the bright green relish, tomato, pickle, sports pepper, celery salt, and a pickle. I mean, it's 100% legit Chicago style hot dogs. If you've ever been to Chicago and had a dog, you're more than welcome to come down here and compare. But we do have a lot of people that are from Chicago that will tell me their hands up, it's like one of the best hot dogs they've had. Even in Chicago, our hot dogs are better than there. And I think it's a lot because in Chicago, you got 2 seasons, hot and cold.
That's true.
Here, you can get the wind because we're between 2 mountains, and you can get the wind through here, and you got the nice sunny weather today, and you're eating a Chicago dog. I think that's what makes it look better. But our secret that makes our hot dogs really great is our steamers. We use an Immerglow steamer. It's actually used to cook shellfish, seafood. But what we do is we put our buns in there and we steam the mess out of them, and it shoots up to 214 degrees, and it never constitutes back to vapor. It stays vapor, never goes back to water. So the buns never get wet. So that makes a great hot dog buns when it's nice. You think I just pulled it out of the oven, and I do not have an oven in a 100 square foot kiosk. So I think that's the key.
It's funny because I thought you was going to say the chili Frito dog.
The Frito dog was something we came up, we were bored one day, and while I was on the internet, like I'm telling you, when you own a business and it's not doing that great, and you got downtime and you're sitting in the kiosk and you're pulling 7 days a week and you're pulling 8-10 hour day shifts at your own kiosk, and there's nothing going on, you get on the computer and you just start looking for ideas. You're going, hey, what can we do? Or what's other states doing? So the Frito pile is a big thing, and I said, it'd be cool. We got Fritos, we got chili. Let's just put it on top of a hot dog, and we'll call it a Frito dog.
Okay.
And I know that's your favorite because you've always come here again. You always come here.
That's the one I'm getting today. That's the. So I got another question for you. How important is it to find the space for the restaurant? Because a lot of people would think that you need this big space with all these different types of ovens and all this crazy stuff, but you said this place is only 100 square feet. So what was the mindset when you went with that?
Mindset is what I can afford.
Okay.
So what I can afford, because I'm a new concept, I'm not a franchise, so it's not like I have people not like you. It's not like In-N-Out, where you open up an In-N-Out store and there's a freaking 3-hour, 4-hour wait the first day it opens up. The first day we opened up here, I think I got 5 customers. I mean, and they were my friends, So I think a lot when you look at a business, you gotta look at traffic, how much foot traffic you're gonna get there, or what is your specialty, what catches the people's eyes. Me, I'm a hot dog shop, and I'm right across the street from Costco, and Costco has a hot dog for $1.50 and a drink. So you're competing against Costco, but here we got a little more gourmet hot dogs. And also the benefit is I'm also in a Home Depot parking lot, so I get a lot of people coming and going. But you would think my location, I would be like killing it right off the bat. But in reality, I wasn't. That was the most hardest part about realizing the business, is that I am just 100 feet too far over in the middle of the parking lot for people to see us.
Yeah.
So when people come in and out of Home Depot, usually they see us when they're leaving, and they don't want to stop their car again and get out. They've already packed their stuff up, or they just didn't know we were here. So it's taken about 10 years to build that brand name. And that's something else that we've been working so hard on, is to build Duff's Dogs name where it's worth something. So people look up on, if you find us on Yelp, we're like 4.7 stars. Google, same thing. We're ranked the best hot dog shop in San Diego. We're ranked in the top 10 in California now. And we're built out at the Del Mar racetrack inside there. They came to us during COVID, and a lot had to do because of our name. It's not like they found me like they just happened to be here. They looked up and they were looking for something, and we just popped up on the search engine, like, you know, best dogs, the photographs people take of our hot dogs and stuff like that, and then word of mouth. But I mean, it's something that you really, it is definitely a long-term investment when you look at something that you're creating from scratch.
That's true.
I mean, I work 7 days a week. You know, every day, if I'm not here, I'm doing emails, or we're doing catering, or I'm at Del Mar, or I'm trying to drum up more business. There's not like that I'm the owner of the business and I get to sit around and sit on the beach somewhere and sip some cocktails and, you know, and enjoy life.
So with the catering thing, I see you guys do a lot of social media. I see you guys are doing a lot of catering. It seems like it's picking up and it's going crazy.
Yeah, we do about 15 to 20 catering events on average. The holiday months, like right now, like November, we're pretty busy in November, but December, we just don't do as much catering during December and a little bit into January. We really don't start picking back up until late January and February. It's because holiday parties. Most people are going to Grub. Like here, you got Grub Burger Bar here. You know, you have the holiday parties at bigger facilities. Not really a hot dog place. I mean, we're not doing that, but we've done a couple of catering events this month already. It's just that it's the holidays, and in a way I kind of enjoy it because it stresses me out because I'm used to going,
yep.
And then when you're not going, you're like, oh my God, are we losing money? Are we spending money? I still got payroll. You know, I still got 6 people on payroll that I got to worry about and make sure that this one shop puts out that much food product to cover, you know, payroll, you know, workman's comp, insurance, payroll tax, everything that comes along with a business that. Nobody really tells you all this stuff until you jump in it. I mean, there's not really a manual on how to do this stuff and to do it correctly.
So I got another question. So for permits, as you being a hot dog spot, and then you see taco shops, burger places, are these permits different, or are they pretty much the same?
No, we're the same. You get inspected by the health department. Everybody follows the same rules on, you know, how hot the food's got to be, storage, refrigeration temps. You got hot water in your sinks. You got to have a hand sanitizing sink, 3 compartment sinks to clean your dishes and stuff. All that stuff's pretty much the same. I think when you get, and I don't quote me, I'm not an expert on this. I think if you got more into like seafood, live seafood in your restaurant, I think that might be a different. We do carry lobster, but the lobster's not live, so we ship it in already shelled and clawed, knuckled out and stuff. So I think you might get in a different that. And if you go into a brewery, I think the permits might be different in brewing beer and having food.
Okay.
But for speaking like food trucks and restaurants, we all do this. We all get inspected by the same way by the same health department.
Okay. So I know you got the location here, and then you got the location at the racetrack.
Yep.
Is there any locations going to come San Diego area as far as like downtown San Diego?
We're hoping eventually. It's like I said, it's all about branding our name.
Okay.
Because to go down there, you're going to have some serious people that have some serious backing.
Okay.
Or you see the diamond, you see the rough, you see us at the diamond in the rough, and going, you know what? You guys have been plugging along at 10 years at this. You know what? Let's open up 2 stores.
Okay.
And I've got the means, and I've got a little bit of expertise. You know, you're always looking for that one person to come in and go, we can make this happen.
Okay.
And then you're trying to go from there, but it's all about, you know, not losing your grasp of why you created Duff's Dogs, or my take on it. And just like you've come here forever, we try to do 2 things I tell kids that work here. Best customer service. I always ask people how their day is going, smile in general, because it is a hot dog. I mean, it's nothing gourmet, but you'd be surprised when you're having a bad day and you walk up to the counter and somebody goes, hey, thank you, hey, how are you doing? Thank you very much. You know, how's your day going? Even if they mess up on that one hot dog just a little bit, they're more likely not to bash us on social media, or they go, you know what, they can ask me how your day is. Because think about next time you go out to restaurants or you go to a fast food place, they really don't go up to the window and ask you how something is, how your day is. You know, you're just there.
Yo, that's true. All right, welcome back. Sorry about that. So we got 3 more questions for you. So the
Okay.
first one would be, what is some of the resources that you used in your business to help you out, or did you use any resources to help you grow?
Resource with my business, resources that we started using is that we use Restaurant Depot and get supplies from you, basic stuff. And then I got a food broker at Cisco, or you get US Foods or Shamrock or stuff like that. That's where you get most of your deliveries and stuff, where you got to order stuff. Because when we order stuff, it's not like going to a grocery store. We order everything in pallets.
Okay.
So when you try to keep the price down as much as you can by ordering pallet, than individually buying packs at a time, like at a grocery store. And a lot of the resources, just the internet, look at other people's business plans, or looking at other people's podcasts and YouTube things where they went wrong or they suggest. And like I tell everybody else, a lot of times is that you just talk to a lot of your friends or get to know some people that have owned businesses or that's been in the type of business you want to get into. Because it's not, like I said, you don't have to take every word they take granted, but eventually if you talk to them enough, some of the stuff's going to stick in your brain, and you might manipulate it to work your way than it did theirs. So that's the way I would go with that.
And then second question, for somebody who was wanting to get into the restaurant industry, what advice would you give them?
Whew. That's a hard one now because inflation's so hard. Stay out of it. Run for the hills. No, be passionate. And it's not going to happen overnight. And you're going to fail a lot. And you're going to get nasty reviews. You're going to get people that say you got the worst food, and don't take it to heart. I do sometimes because I really work really hard at what I do. And it took a lot of swallowing pride. I used to always get the dings on the thing to let me know exactly when I got a Yelp review. I took all that stuff off of phones because people are giving me bad reviews and never eating a Chicago style hot dog, and it's the worst thing in the world. I'm like, man, you what? But I mean, it's a lot of, you've really got to be passionate about it, patient, and you got to have a really great support group around you that supports you in what you do, and because that always makes you feel like you're really doing good. I've got great friends that, even though I'm as small as I am and not even making a fraction of what their business is gross or what they do a year, they always told me, dude, you're doing a great job, man. Just keep hanging in there, and things will get better. And be like, pump you up when you need pump, because a lot of times I roll out of bed, I'm like, I can't believe I'm going, oh my God, what's going to go wrong today? Or am I going to hit a certain number on my POS system? Am I going to do this? Or I'm going to do that? How am I going to pay for my food costs at the end of the month? Those are things that if you don't have a good support group or friends or somebody you're close to that, whispers in your ear and makes you feel like a rock star, that you could fall flat on your face.
Okay. I know I said 3 more, but I got 2. So what's one of the biggest myths about owning a restaurant?
Oh, you're rich. You're racking in the money. That's the biggest myth of everything. Just because you own something, man. Believe me, I thought I was going to be like, okay, in 5 years, I've had this for 10 years. I thought in 5 years I'd have like 5 of these things running. Yeah, I thought it was going to be that easy. That was being naive and not realizing the hard work you got to put into a business and the trial and error, and nothing comes free.
That's true.
I mean, you see a lot of things pop up, but then you start looking, they spend a lot of money, but then they're not there in 2 years or 3 years. Or if I went and bought a food truck and spent $100,000 on a food truck, how am I going to make that money to pay for that truck and to keep it going? And a lot of things, if you pay attention to where you live and stuff, things come and go.
Yep.
And a lot of times it's because they overextend themselves, or they try to do something they weren't set to do yet, or that gimmick didn't take in that area. But that doesn't mean they gave up. It means they probably shut down and maybe they redo their thing and try it somewhere else. But you think you're going to be making it, you're not. I eat a lot of hot dogs for dinner, believe me.
It's funny because I thought that too. All right, so the last question that I got. So this podcast is called A Different Light, and the reason why I named it that is because there's a lot of people who think, like how you said, you're rich, you have this, you have that, and they don't really understand the actual light of things that we go through as business owners. Yeah. So for that last question for you, what would be your different light that you would want for somebody to know about you or the business owner?
Be passionate. Love it. Love what you do. even if it feels like it's failing, if you love what you do, you're going to feel good about yourself, and you're going to keep going forward, and you're going to be nice around the people that are around you.
Okay.
That's the best thing I can tell you. Got to be passionate. Got to enjoy what you do. And again, thank you very much. But I got customers showing up.
Hey.